Welcome to Raising OKC Kids, Conversations with Metro Family in Oklahoma City. I'm Erin Page, and today we're talking with local mom and Metro Family contributor, Sasha Hughes, about ways to love our families well. Sasha is a wife, mom of two, a full-time student, and a full-time employee. Welcome, Sasha. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I love Metro Family Magazine and everything y'all are doing. So it's only right that I'm contributing. So
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Well, we're excited to have you. And we're talking about all kinds of love this month, including the love between parents and children. For our listeners, you may remember Sasha's blog about a mother's love, which is an ode to her mother, who was born and raised in Liberia and fled while pregnant and with a toddler to the promise of a better life in America. It's an incredibly moving article. If you haven't read it, we'll drop the link so you guys can check it out. So Sasha, let's dive into this challenge faced by so many parents right now. Will you share with us how you are finding time and mental space for creative, intentional family time with all you have going on and all the chaos in our world right now?
Yes, chaos is the word. I think, you said it right when you said intentional time. That is something my husband and I have been focusing on. So intentionality is very important. And we also have, I guess, I can't really say a blended family, but my daughter goes and comes, so she shares time between our house and her dad's house. And so we have to be even more intentional with the time that we have with her. And then, getting her to also spend that time with her brother as well. And, for it to be a happy space. And so I usually will think ahead. We have our family meetings. I wrote about that as well in Metro Family Magazine. And we have in our family meetings, we talk about what we want to do for the week. We plan it out. We get ideas from my daughter because she's the one that can really give ideas. And then we go for it. Sometimes our ideas just kind of happen on a whim, just like, the paint and sip night. And so that's something that I just kind of thought of last minute. We needed something, for the family to do that night. We were actually heading out of town to Colorado in a couple of days, and we wanted to spend some intentional quality time with the kids. And so thought about something that we could all do together, and we did it. We grabbed the supplies and we had a great time doing it. So a lot of planning sometimes, but more than likely it's just, things that come up that are fun, and we'll go for it.
And I loved your article about the family meetings too. And I was like reading and taking notes for my own family, like we need to do this too. So speaking of this paint and sip night, Valentine's Day is coming up. Some of our most popular articles over the past few months have been about just that, at-home activities for the whole family. So tell us, how did you plan this night? What kind of supplies did you need? How can we replicate this in our households?
Of course. So my daughter is quite the artiste. She loves painting. She loves drawing. And for Christmas, she actually received a lot of art supplies. And so I actually went to Five Below to get some of her art supplies, things like the easel and paintbrushes and things like that. And then we had some things delivered from Amazon. And so when it came to the family paint and sip night, we had to go out and get some supplies. I think we had maybe 4 easels at the house, and so we needed one more. And so while we were out, we grabbed some more paint, and some more brushes and canvases also. They were ordered at Amazon, and then we also got some from Five Below. And so it's a really simple family night. It's not expensive at all. With Amazon, you can find some really cool paint colors and paint sets for very good prices, reasonable prices. And then at Five Below, you can get some of the little things you need, the table easels and things like that. As far as the sip, and so I knew that my husband wanted to decompress from the day. I work from home. And I also, working from home, you also need to decompress as well. And so I said, why don't we, have our own little drinks we can sip on, and then the kids have their, Welch's. And so my daughter loves to pretend that she is drinking wine sometimes, and she'll grab her Welch's, sparkling grape juice or grape cider, and she'll pour it, in her little wine glass and pretend, and so I thought that would be a fun opportunity to grab them some Welch's grape juice and just have a nice family paint and sip night. And she found the art on YouTube, and we just followed the video, and we came up with, I think it was a starry night is what we drew. So it was fun.
I love that. And you made it a whole special event, like that, the way you set it up and having special drinks, like just those few little intentional things really made it look and feel like a really special evening for everybody. So I love that. I'm totally doing this at my house too.
Awesome.
And you have two kids that are in really different stages of life. So your oldest is a preteen and your youngest is a toddler. And I know even with mine, my oldest is 9 and my youngest is 5. And it can be challenging to find activities they can engage in and enjoy together. So what advice do you have for other parents looking for activities and opportunities to encourage sibling bonding between older and younger kids?
Of course. I think what most parents, we don't, as parents, we don't think about the age gaps between our children, right? We have our children, we have some more children. And then I think we think it'll just kind of work out. And the truth is it's hard when you have that big age gap, because you have a 10-year-old who wants to do 10-year-old things. And then you have a 3-year-old who's interested in watching YouTube and playing with monster trucks all day. And so we had to also be very intentional about the time they spend together to ensure that they have that bond. And so that happens with a lot of just the foundational family time, and having those talks at our family meeting to tell each other what we love about each other, or figure out, hey, is this game going to work for you and your brother? Do you think that, he's going to like it? And normally, she'll say, yeah, we have a wheel that we spin at our family meetings, and it basically determines what we get to do that weekend. And so Nadia, our daughter, she'll draw on it. And then QJ, our son, Quentin Jr., he'll get to spin the wheel. And so that's an activity that they get to do together. Like the paint and sip, he loves to paint as well, and she loves to paint. So that was another thing. But I think it's all about talking to the children, especially the older one, finding out what they think their younger sibling would like to do, and trying that out. And also sometimes it's getting on their level, and being interested in what they're doing, and really, really studying them. I know that word is probably like, study my kids, but yeah, study your kids and see what they're into, see what they like. We are in strange times, and we've had a lot of time to spend in the house together, but most of the times we were apart in the house. One person's working, the other person is at school, another person is doing ABCs. And so coming together and figuring out what works for both kids is important. And then there are those times where, I will be honest, we do have to separate sometimes. So we'll have a girls' day, and the guys will have a guys' day. And we'll go out and grab ice cream, or, safely get our nails done. And then the guys will, go to the playground, or he'll take QJ on some play dates with his other friends. And so sometimes it is about giving that equal attention, if you can, to the kids separately, and then bringing them back together, and talking about, what games and activities you can find that both of them will actually like.
That's such good advice, Sasha. I mean, you're right. Like that intentionality and planning, instead of just kind of assuming like this is just going to work out and everything will be fine. But as moms, we know, right, that the more we can plan ahead, oftentimes means hopefully the activity or whatever we have planned will be more enjoyable for everybody if we put some thought into it. And that's hard right now. And it certainly doesn't always work out like we think it's going to, but often with just a little bit of planning, you're totally right that that we can come up with something that works for everyone. And then talking about planning that intentional time with each child, speaking of Girls' Day, you recently posted some TikTok style hair care videos with your daughter. And I love that you are meeting her on her level like this. I'm hoping that you earned some cool mom points, and you certainly did with me, because I'm still figuring out TikTok. So I absolutely think you're a cool mom.
Thank you.
Tell us about your inspiration in creating these videos together and how much fun the two of you had in the process.
Ooh, it was a process. Let's say that first. But she's teaching me all about TikTok and even Instagram Reels. She's teaching me about all of that. So we, usually have with natural hair care, you have your wash days. And so it was our wash day had come up. And I asked her, I'm like, what if we do a video and show people the step-by-step process for a blowout, which is where you blow dry your hair and it gets really big. And so she's like, okay, I guess we can do that. And so we just grabbed the camera. She loves being in our bathroom all the time. And so we just went in our bathroom, and it took us probably about 2 hours maybe to just kind of shoot the video and then cut and edit and do all that stuff while we're still in the process of doing our hair. But I found that within that time, I was able to get to know my daughter a little better. I was able to, ask her how she feels about, her curl pattern, and talk to her about her natural hair and how she feels when she wears it curly, or how she feels when she wears it straight. And so we just had a lot of, good discussions, and we had a good time shooting the video. So I look forward to making more with her. We're even planning what our next one is going to be with our hair. So you'll have to stay tuned for that and see what we come up with.
I love it. I can't wait. And that's just such a cool example of looking for something that your kid is into that maybe you don't know all that much about, and giving them an opportunity to teach you. And I love that that created some really special time for a conversation with the two of you. That's valuable with those preteens and teenage girls for sure.
Yes.
And as much as we all love our children and we love planning family activities with them, sometimes you just need a night with your partner. And that can be extra challenging during the pandemic. So what are you and your husband, Quentin, planning this Valentine's Day?
Ooh, well, this Valentine's Day will be here as a one big happy family. Like I said, we recently actually took a trip to Winter Park, Colorado. And we got to spend some time there. And that was also intentional couple time, where we got to sit back and actually think about our future, what we want for our family, if our family is going to grow, if it's not. And so this Valentine's Day, we have a few activities planned for the kids. And so we're going to do a special gift giving to each other, where the guys are going to go out and get gifts and the girls are going to go out and get the guys' gifts. Now, the gifts have been limited to Five Below, because my daughter has a piggy bank that she's going to use to buy her gifts. So just some small gifts that we think the other person would like. And so it gives us time to really think about the fun side, of everyone. And so we're going to do that. We're going to cook a family dinner together. And then we were thinking about decorating cookies for Valentine's. We did it for Christmas and it was fun. So we might incorporate that into our Valentine's Day as well.
That sounds so fun. I love it. And I love that you were talking about having that intentional time with your husband, just to have a conversation. And, I think that can even be hard right now. And sometimes I get so caught up in the day-to-day that I forget about how important that is. Even if you can just carve out 10 minutes to have a conversation, beyond like who's picking the kids up tomorrow and like having the lunches, right? So that's such a good reminder to take time to do that for sure. And both of you have been really involved in community building and community growth. And speaking of great date night ideas, I know you guys are involved with Kindred Spirits, a new craft cocktail bar and eatery in Northeast OKC. I am really excited about this. Yeah. And I love this phrase on the website that says, "Come for the drinks, stay for the conversations. We're showing up to honor our past, savor our present, and catalyze our future, and you are invited." So I know you guys are working with several partners on this venture, but tell us more about your collective inspiration and vision for Kindred Spirits and what we can expect when we come check it out.
Of course. So Kindred was born out of the writings of Afrofuturism. Afrofuturism provides a place for, young adults and I'm going to say the older generation to really think about our place in history and what we want how we want to stand out in history, basically. And so former Urban Roots owner Kaya Fletcher and Sandino Thompson, along with my husband and a couple other partners, came together with their beautiful minds and had this wonderful idea to create a place in Northeast Oklahoma City that everyone could feel at home at, a place where you could drive change and talk about culturally relevant topics, plan for the future, what space we want to take up in future, how we want to reshape the northeast side of Oklahoma City, and invite people from all around Oklahoma City as well. If you look at the word kindred, it means one's family or close to family. That's where the word kin or kinfolk is derived from. And so when you step into Kindred Spirits, you immediately feel at home. You feel like, okay, this is where I need to be. And it immediately, for me, it sparks the thoughts about what the future of family is going to be like. How do we want to build this legacy, here on the northeast side of Oklahoma City and inspire those around the Oklahoma City metro area as well. And so, a lot of what I see happening for Kindred in the future is, like I said, a place for everyone to come and feel at home, a place where we can drive change, a place where we can be, culturally inclusive and involve the community, and spark more places like that to, come back on the northeast side of Oklahoma City and bring it back to life. And so I'm excited. When I see the website and I hear people talking about Kindred, or I see it on Instagram or Facebook, I'm like, that's my husband. I'm so proud of all of them, and I'm so excited, to see. And one thing that warms my heart is to know that, as we go on and when we're not here anymore, we're still going to have that legacy. Our children will have a place to go and spark more change and talk about more culturally relevant topics and continue to grow. And so that's something that touches me, and I'm excited. I'm beyond excited. So when everything is back up and we can safely, move around and have a good time at Kindred, look out definitely for live performances by different bands, different events that are going to happen at Kindred and on Northeast 23rd Street. As you know, my husband also heads a Northeast OKC Renaissance and One OKC event. And so look forward to all of the different things that are happening on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. I'm excited, and I'm here to support. So
I love it. There's so much positive energy, and I'm excited for the time when we can all get together again safely. And I can't wait to check out Kindred. I've been hearing so much about it, and it looks incredible. I love everything it stands for.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Sasha, for all your fun and festive ideas to celebrate with our families this month. This has really been a good reminder for me of the importance of creating that intentional time with the people we love, and that even in the midst of a pandemic, we can still get creative. We can still have a great time, even if it's not quote unquote normal.
Right.
So tell us, where can our listeners follow you for more great ideas?
Of course. So you can follow me on Instagram at Namadi's Lifestyle, and that is NYEMADYE _ and Namadi is actually my middle name. I am Liberian, and so actually, Namadi is my first name. I'm sorry. So my name is actually Namadi Sasha Hughes, and I just wanted to, you know, show who I really was, show what I'm about, show where how actually I want to share my home, and what I do with a lot of the families around here, and inspire other moms, and to let them know that it's okay. I still go back to when I wrote the blog post in Metro Family Magazine about pushing through when the pandemic first started. And I still believe that. I still believe we can push through this. And so on my page, you'll find a lot of different fun, fast meals for your family if you're looking for them. My Instagram story, usually I'll put some things on there. You'll learn more about the kids, about my family, and so, yeah, Namadi's Lifestyle. I'm also on Facebook as well. You can follow me there. And I will be working on my own blog soon. And so I'm excited about that. And so I will post that on Instagram when I am ready to get that up and running.
That's awesome. And you guys, I highly encourage all of our listeners to go follow Sasha. She's such an inspiration. You can find the pictures of her paint and sip night there. I'm going straight back to that so that I can set this up for my family, because I know it'll be perfect for all my kids' ages. Thanks again, Sasha. It's been so great catching up with you and listening to all of your great ideas.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I love you guys, and I will continue to share your page on Metro Family Magazine and all that you're about. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Sasha. We love working with you too. Thanks everybody for listening. Join us next time on Raising OKC Kids.